Being recorded.
Hello there, and welcome to Africa Online Media Corporation. It is another Sunday. It is another day for us to come on and to do what we do best, that is, discuss topics pertinent in our lives and the lives of our audience in the world. That being said, it is Sunday, the 2nd of November. Yes, and the weather out here is chilly. It is fall or autumn, and we are doing what we do. And our co-anchor is on travels and will be joining us instantaneously or when she can do it from where she is at the moment. That being said, this again is Africa Online Media Corporation. And without any waste of time, we will just go ahead and start the editorial. It is this 11th month of the year. Yes, it is the month whose name begins in the negative. No, well, it is November, and we are already on its second day. That said, it is 306 days since 2025 started, 306 days. That tells us that we have just 59 days left until the end of this year of uncertainties and or embarrassing sociopolitical behaviors and happenings. Today is the 44th Sunday of 2025 on the 25th week of 2025 when we use United States Standard Week number calculations. It is the 42nd day of fall, that is, of autumn. That means that we have 49 more days left before we go into winter, the season when we bundle up and shovel snow. November is the 11th and penultimate month of the year in both the Julian and Gregorian calendars. It has a length of 30 days. All Souls Day and Daylight Saving Time occurred today, this second day of November, which also happens to be International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists. The situation of journalists and media workers in this 2025 is dire, with a significant number of them, that is the journalists, facing violence and harassment in the line of duty. In 2025, we're told at least 99 journalists and media practitioners have been killed, with the majority in war zones. The International Federation of Journalists, IFJ, reported that at least 50 journalists have been killed in Gaza, that is in the Middle East, 8 in Ukraine, and 6 in Sudan in Africa. The impunity for these crimes is a significant concern, as only 1 in 10 journalist murders are investigated. That brings us to our discussion topic of the day, social media. Africa Online Media Corporation thought that because it has its own in-house acronym, STEW, S-T-T-E-W, we will be able to break down this as we go along. Of course, there is S for social media, T, transport and telecommunication, E, energy and electricity, and the W is water. To unveil and discuss that acronym, Africa Online Media Corporation thought that we should begin this month with the first letter of that is the S, which is social media. Social media today, one can safely say, are double-edged swords with their good, bad, and ugly faces. In the hands of adults in the room, social media can inform, educate, entertain, and distract. But in the hands of toddlers, they can be veritable weapons of misinformation, spewing out fake news, destabilizing social tranquility, and causing untold harm. Some use social media to intimidate, to blackmail, to spread hate, to provoke, and to set communities ablaze. On the other hand, Proponents and avid users say social media bring positive changes, affect mindsets, and instill hope. So let us focus on that S on this discussion this Sunday. Social media, yes. Social, well, means community, means society. So are these a worthwhile communication tool or an outright distraction? Social media are the front and center of all human activity today. What quickly comes to mind is how are these social media, how are they affecting you and I? How are they affecting our lives? Have they caused you to slip and fall into a ditch or walk into a pool of water or simply bumped into another person and or an object on your way or in your way because you were not looking? Social media are like that. They're like that cat and draft game, which some uncaring father played all day and ignored shouts of fire, fire, because he thought it was not happening to him. In fact, it was his house that had caught on fire. So, is social media like that TV set in your living room that take your attention while your kid or your daughter is struggling for help with her homework, with his or her homework after they come back from school? We can constantly say that social media are the greatest social distraction of the 21st century, offering unpaid for services for babysitting, providing such useful services as educators whom our children do not actually need because they do not offer the curriculum we intended for our children? Or is it just that social media cause such discord in homes and act as disruptors of family discussion, hence killers of famous kitchen table discussion or family time? In fact, gone are the days, in Africa especially, when the family or the village, children, parents, and grandparents gathered either in the big house, call it the parlor, or under the baobab tree in the courtyard as the sun slowly sets to discuss family and or village palaver, or listen to village history handed down orally by storytellers or griots. In most places in the continent of Africa in particular, these days, of course, village gatherings are just for socialization and not for sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly about the village culture, traditions, and communal ventures. So what is happening? So what do we do? Are social media there just to distract us? One Margaret Rouse says, quote, social media is the collective of one communications channels, dedicated community-based input, interaction, content sharing, and collaboration, end of quote. Wikipedia, that free encyclopedia, adds, quote, social media are computer-mediated technologies that facilitate the creation and sharing of information, ideas, career interests, and other forms of expression via virtual communities and networks. Whatever definition we give here, no matter how we look at social media, one thing is common. Social media are the result of technological advancement, creating tools that make Canadian media mind Marshall McLuhan, they make his concept of global village real and practical. But that global village has resulted in so much happening for good or for bad, to the benefit of humanity or to its disadvantage. We therefore invite all of you out there to join us to share your thoughts, propose positive ways of using social media while maintaining our traditional ways of life, and help addicts and or potential addicts to show moderation as they resort to social media, either as a therapy or a distraction and or a definitive solution to their problems. Are social media a worthwhile communication tool or an outright distraction? Are social media a double-edged sword in the hands of toddlers on the African continent, or useful tools that the adults on the continent should use for the common good? Should social media be used as weapons of mass deception, weapons of mass intimidation, weapons of blackmail, or instruments for setting ablaze communities and countries? Or should social media be avenues for enriched discussion, such discussion as enlightens, affects or effects positive change, changes mindsets, and instills hope? Well, welcome to Africa Online Media Corporation. We turn to the chair of Africa Online Media Corporation, Her Highness Reverend Palm, to welcome us to this discussion today, and for all of us to join minds and hearts together to discuss social media, the S in stew. Reverend Palm.
Yes, you remain amazing. They don't come any better than you. And since you said today is a journalist day, is that what you said in your editorial?
Yes, it is a day for the crimes against journalists.
Crimes against journalists. So on behalf of Africa Online Media Corporation, I want to appreciate you and all the journalists. I mean, the real journalists, not the self-proclaimed reporters that are out there putting out fake news on social media and internet and everywhere and on print. But unfortunately, journalism has become a dangerous profession. It never used to be. And we are honored to have you, the best journalist ever and the best professor of journalism, on Africa Online Media Corporation. You and I have worked together. March will make it 10 years. You remain a legend. And I am really, really grateful that we have you on this program.
I'm so flattered. I'm so flattered. I'm so flattered. Thank you.
No problem. And thank you for your faithfulness. We want to welcome all our viewers around the globe, and Miss Virginia Senior, the beautiful Miss Dr. Gloria Crosslin, and Ambassador Lisa, our co-anchor, will join us soon. We want to denounce every violence against journalists and violence against anybody, period. But journalists, they contribute a lot to society, especially with information. I'm not talking about people that share fake news. But like you said, this stew, that was in 2016, I coined that acronym to pay homage to the African stew, but it has nothing to do with the food we eat except for the water that goes in the food. But the transportation, the food items have to be transported from the farm to our table. We need electricity and energy to prepare it. So it's kind of connected. And today in social media, via YouTube and Facebook, people can learn how to cook. So it's kind of connected. So thank you so much. Social media is a challenge. Now, do we ask ourselves, do the risk outweigh the benefits, or the benefits outweigh the risk? That's something to think about. But yes. I know that a lot of people have found each other on social media. People have met on social media. People have learned stuff from social media. There are free courses that are being offered on social media. When the internet came, initially, it didn't come with social media. Social media came after that. Yes. And now we have so many different social media outlets. But it creates problems. People's phones get hacked. People have been duped, especially on WhatsApp and Telegram. When they hack your phone, they reach out to your contacts and start asking for money, talk about how they are stranded. They send codes. If you can send me this code, if you can click this code, we are having a meeting. Or now the new one is, I'm running for, not me, they are running for some competition. If you can click the link to vote for them. All fake attempts to hack people's. I don't understand why they could not use that ingenuity for something better for society instead of using it to steal and dupe people. But to me, it has brought a lot of challenges, a lot, where somebody can just put out false information about you and there's really nothing you can do about it. Even if you sue them, it's already gone. It's like cutting pieces of papers and throwing it out, the wind blows it away. You can't really pull all the pieces back together and put it to where it was. So even when the truth comes out, you really cannot undo the damage. You know, so as we will go into this today, I think it will be good to look at the advantages and disadvantages of social media. And at this point, I would like to go to our beauty queen, Dr. Crossley, who is active on social media too. So Dr. Crossley, take it away, Miss Virginia Senior World.
Oh, thank you so much. Her Excellency, Her Highness, Dr. Reverend Pam, Queen Mother, Fomenon.
Thank you, Dr. Crossley.
And I say it with passion, and I enunciate every syllable because you deserve the recognition for all the work that you do and the passion that you have in your heart. And it's so refreshing because I don't want to cry. Oh my God.
No, don't.
But,
don't make me cry either.
Oh my God. The Lord is just showing me that your passion is bigger than yourself. See, most people, Dr. Pam, they have goals that they know they can reach like next week, right? Or next year, or within 5 years. Your goals, ma'am, that you set for yourself are bigger than you. And I just want to say that is impressive. And don't ever let anybody, and I know you won't, but don't let nobody stop you. I'm just amazed how the Lord just showed me that about you.
And you're right, because flesh and blood did not reveal that to you. You are on point, and I am unstoppable and untouchable. I would never. I was born focused, and I know what God put me on this planet to do to help his children.
Wow,
thank you.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. So with that said, I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to start setting my goals and vision way more than what I think I could accomplish, you know?
Good.
Yeah. So that's your secret. Set those goals real, real high. I see what that means. Dream big. That way, when people come to you, Reverend Pam, Dr. Pam, for help, you are an awesome motivational person to them, so that when you put the essence in dream big.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just not realized that. It's just so refreshing.
Thank
and
you
I
so
needed
much.
that. I needed this to help me with my goal setting when I'm at the pageant. I could hug you, okay? But so I'm going to give you a virtual hug and a verbal hug too.
Thank you so much. Right back at you. I really appreciate your kind words. Thank you, Dr. Crossley.
Yes.
That is today. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, so so, and hello to the global audience. I'm glad everyone is joining today and watching the replay. And I know some people, Dr. Pam, watches it more than once. So,
yes.
And yes, ma'am, to those people, you are amazing, and hello. I would turn my camera on, but I am doing the unthinkable, which is driving, which we need to think while we're driving, and that's why they don't want us multitasking, which is something new that I started doing, which is fervently multitasking. So I add Professor Niels, I'm probably gonna laugh at this one, but I add fervor to my multitasking. So I am mindful of my multitasking, and I actually do more than one thing at one time. So
as you do that, please stay vigilant, stay observant, be sure to watch where you are going.
Yes, and with social media in mind, we don't want to have the camera on and be doing certain things that we shouldn't be doing on social media. So for the Miss Senior World pageant, we do use social media, and it will probably be streamed on Facebook. It was last year and the year before, and we're still learning how to do that, but I will share the link, and I want to say hello to you, Professor Niasan, and to Prophetess Lisa, who's going to be joining as well. And thank you all so much for this platform. I always learn a lot when I join in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Crossley. And we are friends on Facebook. You accepted my friendship, and I see all your beautiful pictures that you always post. It's always refreshing to see your post.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so.
That being said, social media, yes, it's not just one thing. It's a whole amalgam of stuff. We use them to create content, to share whatever we have, to interact. And of course, you know that when you go on one of those platforms, you are doing something either for yourself or for the world. You are doing something either to benefit yourself or to benefit somebody else on the other side. So what are you doing with social media? Do you know the social media that we're talking about? Of course, without advertising them, we hear of things like Facebook, we hear of things like Instagram, we hear of things like Twitter, which used to be X, it is now X. Yeah, we hear of something like TikTok, which I hear is Chinese, and that in the United States they're trying to buy it over or something. I hear of things like LinkedIn, which I hear people use to post their profiles, and search for jobs and so on. I hear of Snapchat, I hear of YouTube, and the rest of them. So what are they doing? Are they helping us to grow, or are they helping, or are they distracting us from growing positively? Are we doing what we should be doing with ourselves on this social media?
Well, so, you know, one of the good things that another good thing that social media has brought, it has elevated a lot of people, especially people on the continent. And I want to do a shout out, especially to the Nigerian young content creators. They have maximized, or well, they are using social media to elevate themselves, stimulate the economy. Take the YouTubers in Nigeria, like the young actors. Yeah. And they are making what we call in Cameroon beaucoup d'argent from YouTube. They create all this content for entertainment, the movies that are now being watched globally. And with views, you know, this different social media platforms pay X amount of dollars. I don't know who pays what, and we're not going to go into that, based on the number of views. And I am happy that the people are using it to earn money.
Yes.
While others are using it to scam other people, people are using it to earn money, genuine money, hardworking money. So I think that is pretty good. And yeah. We are using YouTube for our STEM education. Yesterday was the last class for the first batch. We had students from 5 different countries, and we were streaming it through Zoom and live. You know, we were doing it through Zoom, but streaming it on YouTube. And these students can go back and we're going to have assignments every week and watch it on our YouTube channel. So these are some of the opportunities we have now that when we were going to school, we didn't have these opportunities.
No,
you know,
we didn't.
It has enabled e-learning, remote jobs or virtual jobs. People can sit in Africa and get a job here, you know, and earn money, genuine and legal money, the right way. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that this social media platforms exist. However, I did not want to join Facebook. I joined in 2007 because of this program. And I want to encourage the business people. Yes, why there are challenges with social media, use it to improve your business. Even now with artificial intelligence, you can use artificial intelligence and promote your business. You can leverage artificial intelligence to market your business, to promote it, to create content. don't shy away from it, because the people are on social media. So whatever you are selling, whether it's a service or product, you need to go where the people are. If you don't go there, you're going to be left behind. That's the truth. I'm telling you, that's the truth. Even though a social media can be scary, you can use AI or the same or the internet to show you how to use social media, or you can use the same social media to show you how to use social media. For example, if you want to learn how to use YouTube, go to YouTube and ask YouTube, how do I use YouTube? Somebody has made a video. I'll give you an example. My car, I'm not going to say the brand of the year, but I didn't know where to open the hood, and I had to go to YouTube and ask YouTube. I gave the name of the car, the brand, the model, the make, and there was a video step by step that somebody had made to show you exactly how to find where the hood is for that car. These are all very helpful, handy assistance, free assistance. So there's always anything you wanna learn how to do. Just ask, YouTube or go to Google. Somebody has already had that problem and lined out the solutions. Niason.
Yes, it is very, very important, because social media, I think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Although we know there is always that fat guy in his basement, in his or her basement, who decides to do otherwise with the social media. Instead of sharing content, positive content, they share negative things, and they try to influence you negatively to do the wrong thing. So,
Niason, let me interrupt you. It may not be a fat guy, it may be a skinny guy or a skinny girl.
That's right.
Demons come in all shapes and forms and sizes.
Yeah, that's right.
I just needed to throw that in.
That's very important, yes. So social media are doing a lot for the world today in the 21st century. And the children of today are much better with whatever they are doing than you and I, because we had to go look for encyclopedias, we had to go look for dictionaries and so on to be able to get certain things done for ourselves. But today, they just click a button on the computer and they get the information, but they should be able to know how to use that information. Make sure that you are not using something that is going to put you in trouble or that is going to create problems for you. So whatever you do, if you are posting a text, be sure of that text. How is the content? Is it going to help somebody grow or to diminish somebody? Make sure that the pictures you are sharing have something to teach, not just something to distract somebody. The laughing is not enough. So if you are posting a video, what is the content of that video? How will it help somebody on the other side? So please, when you use social media, use it positively, not negatively. It is very important that you help one person or two learn something new, grow in their business or in their lives, so that tomorrow they say, oh, had I not visited this, had I not used this, I would not have succeeded in what I am doing. Business people should also learn how to use this to advertise genuinely their businesses, to tell us the content of their product, so that we know that the quality of that product is worth buying, because we should not go buy something that would turn out to be a fake item or a fake product that is tomorrow will cause us problems rather than promote what we are doing. So let us work together in using social media in the 21st century as a tool of growth, not as a tool of damaging our lives and destroying other people on the other side. Reverend?
Yeah, you're so right. And social media is actually, it's like a marketplace for information, or call it an information box. It has brought a lot of information to our fingertips. For example, and let me know if you hear background noise near some. For example, there are a lot of things. Let's say, for example, domestic violence cases or police brutality cases that would not have come to light without social media. People's phones can stream or can record. I tell people, whatever you're doing, just assume that somebody is recording it in this day and age. And it has connected the world. Besides the internet, the internet connected us, but social media brought us together. So you are being impacted by people you don't even know, people that you may never meet. Even with ministry, you know, you are able to reach people around the globe, people that will not be able to drive or fly to your church. So the church is not a building. So you are able to impact people, even motivational speakers. So these are all good aspects of social media. I know people, women that got married, they don't know how to cook, and they use YouTube to learn recipes, specific recipes. You know, in Cameroon, we have, I think Cameroon has the most number of dishes in the world. Because, I mean, I'm yet to find a country that has as many dishes as we do. You know, and there are people there that, you know, you can learn how to cook anything on YouTube or even Facebook. We're not endorsing because none of them are paying for this program, but we're actually streaming this program on YouTube. You know, we used to stream on Facebook, but now we're streaming it on YouTube. So we need to look at the positive ways of using social media and use it to learn and also to teach. Let's go to our beauty queen, Miss Dr. Crossley. Dr. Crossley, besides Mr. DC pageant being streamed on social media, what else do you use social media for?
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Pam Fomenong, Ambassador, Her Excellency, Her Highness, for this question on your platform, the African Brain Bank. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Amen, amen. And Professor Niasan, he's always right there checking everybody's answers, making sure they're correct.
That's
because
he can't help himself. He's a professor.
Yes, he is, and a journalist, and he only wants just the facts. So yes, we use social media for my TV program as well, and
Okay.
I have two TV series. One is called Life Stories with Dr. Gloria Crosland, and the other one is called The Housewives of DMV.
Oh,
And
wow.
yes, and so I'm telling the whole world that I'm getting ready to start the YouTube channel. Because it's on television, they have a lot of rules that we have to follow, and these are rules that everyone has to follow, not just us on the Fox 5 Plus, but CNN a long time ago are in charge of all of the policy for all of the broadcasting stations. And then when COVID happened, they moved from Atlanta to New York. And that was all caught on social media right before the George Floyd massacres. When we, as you said, Dr. Pam, when we started using our phones and posting on social media different acts of violence, even good acts, right? But so it was captured on video, on social media. The television station that got attacked, CNN, and I'll never forget it when I was watching it. And then when COVID happened, all of our TV stage programs went to people's homes. Like we got to see Wendy Williams' home, like where she lived, because we started using our phones and social media to continue broadcasting. And so then they went, when CNN moved to New York, they went and attacked there and actually tried to take over the TV station. And so they made us, when we would come to the TV station to record, they would make us stay outside. They were so mean to us, right? But that's their rules, because they don't want someone taking, like Professor Nielsen said, be nice to journalists and all that, don't hurt them. But it is a real threat where people want to take over the airwaves and take over the station. So they don't let us in either. So that's what I know about my broadcast and how it came about. And a lot of people who don't understand journalism, well, I'm also a member of the Military Veterans Journalism Society. And that's quite interesting. And just the other day, I traveled to Richmond for a master class. I'm also a member of the Virginia Production Association, and it is directors, because I am a producer. I have produced movies. I'm in a lot of movies, so I'm an actress, a journalist, and as you said, I own my own pageant, which is for men. And I'm really excited about all the social media access that we have. The good side of social media is no one can just like take it and shut the whole thing down. They could try like they did with TV. They could try like they did with the country with COVID. But I don't see someone taking over social media. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Crosslin. When you were speaking, a couple of things came to my mind. One is how politicians have used social media and continue to use it for their campaigns and to either assassinate the characters of their opponents. I remember one person that I would say, I dare to say the first politician that I know that actually used it for his benefit was Barack Obama, and he used it for positive way, engaging the young people. Even all the rallies, they use social media to aggregate and to convene and to promote things. So that is very, very important. There are also countries where people have used, instead of using the television station to make announcements either about a new government or a government being overthrown, they use social media. And this has really been effective. Unfortunately, there are a lot of fake news. I know the first time we heard that the president of Cameroon, the first time I heard was on social media, and the people that put it out there were so adamant that it was true, only for that same person to surface. So these are the kind of confusion that fake news has created. When people will put stuff out there as if it's authentic news, sometimes it's been put out by news outlets, and it's a shame. But one of the things I like about here is when a news outlet puts out information that's not correct, they come and offer an apology and they redact it. That's not the case on the continent most of the time. So we just need to be careful. I want us to talk about social media etiquette. One of the ones I'm going to weigh in, and then Niaso and Dr. Cross, you guys can continue. For example, WhatsApp. I create a group. There was a time when I find myself people adding me to forums without my permission. So I changed the setting on my phone where somebody cannot add me to a group. They can only invite me. And so that I took that power back. But when you are on a forum with people, the fact that you have access to their phone number doesn't mean you should contact them or share their phone number. That's one of the etiquette issues. I hope, and if anybody knows if this exists, please inbox us, email us at info@africaonline.tv.org. It will be good, and Facebook, or what's his name? What's that guy's name again? It just slipped my mind. The one on Facebook. If you and your engineers and your scientists can come up with a way where you put people on a group, only the administrator can see their contact number, that would be great. Mark Zuckerberg, you are the one I'm talking to. If you can come up with, and whoever is the founder of Telegram, where people are in a group, but they cannot see each other's contact, that would be awesome. That's one improvement that you can do to your platform. But it is important that you respect people's privacy. Secondly, something that really gets on me is when people post information and it is laced with typos or poor grammar. Please read the content of what you're about to post before you post it, because there's no excuse for you posting a post that is laden with typos or grammatical errors. The other thing is your tone. I don't appreciate people sending a voicemail, because your tone can deliver the wrong message. You may have a good message that you want to deliver, but because of your tone, it may turn off people. So think about it. I know that there are times when people are in a hurry and they need to send a message, but I'm talking about people who are just too lazy to type. You know, and the other thing is that learn to appreciate other people's contribution when you are on a forum. For example, if you are planning for an event, or you guys are in a class together, like the students, our STEM program, we had all these students, but what we decided to do was we created a WhatsApp group for each country, you know, because cultural intelligence is another issue. So we didn't want to mix that. But so when a colleague does something good, don't just read it and pass. You can give a thumbs up or give positive feedback. Don't only wait till there's a problem and then you start criticizing people. So I'll hand over to you, Nielsen. We're talking about social media etiquette.
Yes, social media etiquette, and you pointed out one of them, which is the need to verify what you have read or what you have written. If you are sending a text, please make sure you read over and correct the grammar or correct the typos. The other thing is avoid using uppercase. In journalism, we know that when you write in uppercase, you are shouting down at your audience.
Yep, it's rude.
So
a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, it's being rude when you type in uppercase. So use lowercase and only put uppercase where it is necessary. That is very important. Also, avoid sharing personal information, very personal information, and make sure that what you publish or whatever you share is verified and verifiable. Because sometimes you may send something out which can cause trouble, not because it should be trouble, but because you did not verify the content. So always check your content and be sure that the content you are sharing is worth sharing. If it is from you, claim ownership of what you are sharing. If you are quoting somebody, put it in open brackets, open and close, to show that these are not your words, because you can at one time, you can be sued at one time for claim of what is it?
Plagiarism.
Yeah, that's right. Avoid it, please. You never can tell. Tomorrow it can be against you, as today it was again for you. So please make sure that you take care of what you are doing. The other thing is avoid excessive use of these social media. Please don't spend hours and hours on it. You deserve sleep. Sleep is one of the medicines that you don't have to buy from any shop or from any pharmacy. So use your sleep time to sleep and social media time for social media. In my house, I try to make sure that there is no social media use during dinner. Everybody put the phone aside, finish the lunch finish the meal, and then you can go back to your social media. So please know that those things are not good, because they can, first of all, you are supposed to be conversing at dinner table with your people, not paying attention to somebody hundreds of miles away or somebody you never ever will meet. So please avoid those things. It is very important to know that social media are good, yes, but that they have their disadvantages. Avoid things that can be avoided. Avoidable things, please. Don't go ahead causing yourself problems unnecessarily. I'm kind of losing my balance here. So there is also this other aspect of social media, which some people think is pleasure. They use it for cyber bullying. It is very, very bad to shut down at people, to bully at other people, to look down on people. Please avoid those things. Negatives are not good. Negatives are not good. Positives are better. I see Ambassador Lisa coming in now. So she will be joining.
Let me just piggyback to what you say and give our beautiful co-anchor time to settle or catch her breath. You know, another thing people do, they inundate people's phones. They keep forwarding stuff. There are things that are viral videos that are forwarded multiple times.
Multiple times, yes.
Most people, even in their family, most people have people like that in their family forum that they keep forwarding anything they see. They feel you don't have to be the one to forward it. Somebody will see it at another forum, and you forward these things, and it inundates people's phones. And also, when you are on a WhatsApp group, you need to know what the purpose of that group is.
That's right.
Don't post anything that is irrelevant. We're talking about Ambassador Lisa. I love I think they call it gele. You know, I've never worn that thing on my head. I don't like stuff on my head, but
that's
you know,
good.
we're discussing social media, but at this point, we're talking about social media etiquette, advantages and disadvantages, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. And I'm so glad you joined. But the other thing, Niasong, you're talking about, there are parents. Social media has affected parenting.
Yes.
A few years ago, because we discuss this topic every year, there's this viral video, I think it's a Somali girl or it's an African child that did a video complaining about her parents.
Yeah.
The mother is always on Facebook, the father is always on WhatsApp. Yeah. None of them are paying attention to her, so she's being basically raised by technology. When she comes to them, they say, oh, go and play with your tablet. Go and he said, I don't want any tablet. I don't want technology. I want my parents. So I want to say to the parents, you brought those children into this world. They did not select you. They did not ask to be born. You are responsible for them to their age 16 or 18, depending on what country you are in. There are people, I know of parents that have been, cases of parents that have been in the house and a child committed suicide in their room, they didn't know. Parents that are in the house, the child is communicating with pedophiles, they don't know. Parents that are in the house, their child is doing drugs and they don't know because of social media. So please, don't let social media raise your children.
Yes.
Before social media, there were parents that their children were being raised by television. The Gen Zs and the millennials and the Gen Alphas and Betas, they don't watch television. They do social media. So please, and if each family, even if it's just dinner, you know, don't be on your phone when you are having dinner. Ambassador Lisa, we're going to give you the mic because you have plenty to say about this. So the mic is yours, my dear sister. But do you have the anthem, or you want me to play the anthem at the top of the hour?
I can get the anthem unless you have it already ready.
No, I have it, but I want to hear what you have to say about social media.
Yes. Welcome. I'm not welcome. Thank you so much for
welcome.
Thank you.
We're missing you. We're missing you.
This is the 1st of November. It is the beginning of the celebration of my birth month because I celebrate the whole month.
Okay.
And yeah, good for you. You need to be celebrated the whole year.
Yes. I haven't gotten there yet, but I take the whole month of November. But we're talking about social media and its effects on our children. I have never seen such a society, such a generation of people who are going to be so unprepared for life. Our young people are going to be so unprepared for life. I was in church this morning. My brother is here from India, and he was preaching in the area. And well, we had to drive almost 2 hours to get to where he was. So we're just getting back. He leaves New Jersey on tomorrow. But while we were in church, there were these children who had tablets. Now, I understand that your child may need a little something to divert them because sometimes church can be a little boring for kids. But the whole entire service, the tablet was just ding, ding, ding from the games. Now, you don't need to play games the whole time. And I was just so annoyed. I tried very hard to stay focused in the circle. I just wanted to turn around and snatch it from them. But parents are just allowing these tablets and phones and social media to dictate and raise their children. These children cannot cursive write. Some of them can't write, period. And they're going to be so unprepared for life. They don't know how to sign a check because all they know is social media and these tablets. You know, what is so frightening for our next generation, maybe even the generation after that, is that, like I said, they're not going to be prepared to run government. They're not going to be able to think. Social media is controlled by no one, basically. I've never seen anything that just has its own life. It's like it has its own life, and no one will ever dictate to it. No one can control it. And like you said, parents are not paying attention. They're not making their children sit down and listen. No, my children had to sit down. There was a certain time that they sat down and they read, or they played Legos together. But there was a time where all playing stopped and you sat down and you did something that was interactive. You did something that engaged your brain. And if our parents don't wake up, especially these young ones, they're the ones who are not going to get their Social Security, because the generation that's supposed to be paying into them, the next generation that's supposed to be paying into Social Security, they won't even be able to maintain a job, a whole job, even get a job, because social media is not preparing them for that. I was looking at something on social media last night that I thought was very interesting. There was a gentleman on, and he was telling people how to keep from getting scam calls. Yes, you just go onto your phone, onto this thing, certain level, and you put in these three numbers, and then you go to someplace else and you put in these other three numbers. And I'm sitting there thinking, he just told these people how to give up access to their own life, to their own financial situations, because they don't know if that's true or not. They don't know this person. It wasn't coming from a bank. It wasn't coming from anybody reputable. It wasn't like Denzel Washington was, running the commercial, or even if that's the case, it was somebody you know. You don't know if these things are actually true. And as I was looking through the comments, because I wanted to see what the people were saying. And someone was saying, oh, it didn't work for me. Oh, I got an error message. It didn't stop the scam calls from coming. And I was like, all they did was just give up their life. They didn't even realize. And if you're not checking your bank accounts on a regular basis to see if, money is being drawn out, because they say, the criminals start with the 1 cent or the $2 or $1 or something. And when you don't correct that, or you don't challenge that, then they just go for the gusto, and they'll wait a certain time so that you'll forget about it. So while social media can be beneficial, it's got its very negative side to it. And that is the side parents must pay attention to. Our parents must wake up and realize that you just can't give a tablet and let your children be all over social media while you be hanging and talking to your girlfriends. And you're on social media yourself, so you're not even leading and setting a very good example for our children. I hope I didn't say anything that we've already talked about.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
I'm trying to find where the anthem is as well. So,
oh, okay.
Social media parents, we must wake up and see the trick of the enemy that has been set, and the trap that has been laid for you, your family, and your children, and generations to come. At least, there was a time when we used to put our children, if they were going to watch TV, we used to put them before educational programs. Sesame Street, Reading Rainbow. They were playing and being entertained, but they were getting something that was beneficial. Now even those channels are not even a thing of something that our children are watching and exploring. Excuse me.
You fine?
Mhm.
Are you okay? All right.
So how are you handling social media, Nia son, with your grandchildren who are always over when they come?
Well, we have time for everything, time allotted, especially as they're not the same age. So we try to make sure that if child A, who is 4, is watching at this time, we say, okay, when you finish, child B, who is 7, we watch at that time, and we divide the time like that to avoid conflict. But you are welcome to watch the other person's thing. Don't say,
Oh, okay.
it's only for that age group. No, you can watch.
So you said your grandchildren get equal television time to watch,
Yeah.
that's specific to that. But how do you handle the social media, or no, but how do you handle their social interaction with you as their grandparent, who is 2 generations, maybe one generation ahead, 2 generations ahead of them? How are you using this social media to be intergenerational?
Just make sure that I keep them by my side and interact with them as much as I can to make sure that what they are watching is according to the norms of society or according to the norms of family, what the family upholds. We don't let them watch just anything. We control what they watch, and we ensure that what they watch is what will help them tomorrow.
Can I just say something real quick, Ambassador Lisa? When you were talking about children using their social media, their tablets in church, let me say this. I believe it's unacceptable. The parents should be able, if you're going to bring a child to church only for them to come and disrupt service with their social media, they need to stay home.
Leave them at home.
We need to give God equal time. I think it's disrespectful. I know a lot of people now. I'm one of those people that used to love my Bible, the physical book, but I switched to using my phone, my Bible on the phone, a digital electronic Bible. If you are using your iPad or tablet to look at scriptures, nothing is wrong. But to come to church and be disrupting service. Okay. In the children's church, they teach them Sunday school. They don't go there to use social media. So it's not acceptable, even for 1 minute. I think that parent is being disrespectful to God by allowing their child. It's just like having a child. I remember many years ago, somebody brought their child to my house and the child got on my sofa. I told the mother didn't say anything. I said, get down now. And I was not playing. And the child got down. And somebody was saying that, oh, I said, no. They are not just children. I said, they do that in your home, not in my house. Because my child will not do it in my house. They will not do it in your house. Proverbs 22:6 says, raise up a child the way they should go. And when they grow up, they'll depart from it. I don't want to hear that nonsense about they're just a child. What are you insisting in that child? Those same children that are using social media in church, when they become adults, they will do the same thing.
Exactly.
I just wanted to piggyback to that before we get to the top of the hour. Back to you, Ambassador Lisa.
Yeah, they will not know how to sit down. They won't know how, when it's time to stand and praise God, because they're not being trained. They're just given a tablet and a phone to just do whatever they want. Now, as long as the singing was going on, I really couldn't hear it. I could see them. And we're not talking about somebody who's 2 or 3, who's antsy, to sit for a few hours. We're talking about 8, 9-year-olds who should be learning how to come to the house of God and worship. This is what the house of God is for. Now, I made sure that my children had adequate sleep the night before. I made sure they had a good breakfast. But if they came to church and fell asleep in church, what they did when they got home from church was go immediately to bed. No dinner, anything, just go to bed, because apparently you are tired. All you got to do is do it once or twice. They'll get together. Once or twice, they went to bed without anything to eat. They didn't have that problem, which is why I now have one who is a bishop. The other one has his own relay. I won't say he's not in church, but he has his own relay. He still has a relationship with the Father. They all do, because they were trained. And we're not training our children anywhere. Because if you don't make them sit down and read, if you don't make them sit down and pay attention or do certain things at home, they will never do it outside. Like you said, Reverend Pam, the child come to your house, and I'm assuming they were jumping on the sofa as opposed to sitting. I remember one time my niece.
As soon as I saw it, I stopped them. I don't play that nonsense.
That's right. No, my mother's the same way. She was like, my house is my house. I'm not moving my crystal. I'm not moving anything in my house. If your child touches it, I'm going to whip them. I'm going to tell you right now, you can bring them, but these are the rules. And we have to be able to teach our children that this is not acceptable in your home. It certainly is not acceptable in other people's homes. There was a time, where we were terrified to embarrass our parents at someone else's house. I remember popping my niece's legs because she was jumping on my grandparents' furniture, and I had already spoke to her once. I only speak twice. I spoke to her once and told her to stop doing it, and she continued to do it. So I reached over and I popped her a couple times. Now my sister-in-law is all up in arms. She's yelling and hollering and performing. Later on, she come to be the drama queen, but she's all up in, performing because I popped my niece. I said, but you heard me tell her to sit down. And she didn't. You should have made her sit down. So I have to make her sit down. I just cut an eye at my brother. He didn't open his mouth. Now, I ain't trying to destroy your marriage. I ain't trying to get in the middle of your marriage. But I'm not expecting you to pick me over her or her over me. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And I told your daughter to sit down. One of y'all should have said something. So it's very important, parents, that we train our children at home and not just give them social media to get them out of our head, because we have to see down the street and around the corner and what it is that we are doing to our children when we just give them social media and access to the tablet and the phone and think that we just want them to be quiet because we're not training them. And this is a society where our children are so undisciplined. They have no respect for anything or anyone. It's terrible. It's terrible. We are at the top of the hour, Reverend Pam. It looks like you're about to share. Okay, cool.
Okay, all right.
Oh, Africa. Oh no. Africans, Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind Africa Online Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does, to identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. Education for everyone. If we believe prosperity for Africans, if we believe medical facilitation for Africans, if we believe stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is the cradle Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans. Let's sing Africa. Jump on the Africa Online Miracle Jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans. Let's sing Africa. We are writing our own story. The truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa.
That's
So
right.
what are we talking about next week?
Water. The W in stew. Water.
Water, which is important to life.
Remember, I didn't say water. I said water. I pronounced the T.
All right.
It's my South Philadelphia accent. We say water.
Okay,
Water.
I'm going to be muted. Ambassador Lisa, since you just came, over to you.
Oh, okay. Okay,
you
well.
You don't have the announcements?
I just did. I said we're going to be discussing water next week.
No, I said other announcements. You have just that. Okay, all right.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, you know, and
it's Thanksgiving month. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we also want to remind you, get you prepared and ready that Labor Day weekend 2026, Africa's Brain Bank will be celebrating its 7th annual summit and gala. And we are going to be going to the beautiful country of Ghana. Don't be delayed. Don't wait. Get your money ready now. We will be booking our tickets soon. We will be soon getting ready to get those visa applications. Find out what kind of shots, if any, are needed. Go to the embassy's website and look and see. Or you can go to the CDC and see what shots are required.
Ambassador Lisa, thank you. You are amazing. Yeah, me as someone was screwing me, and I was not. The embassy in New York already told me. I met the consul general in New York in September. He offered that they were going to process our visas, and our logistics team would handle all the visa applications for everybody. We'll share information about how to get your visa and the shots that are needed. You know, but you're right. Okay. It's on the website, but the ticket link is open. And actually, those who buy their tickets before December 31st, will actually before January 2026, will get a 10% discount. We'll be putting that code on there, and that's a huge discount. So early bird special.
Early bird special.
Yeah.
It's early bird special. If you have not planned your vacation for next year, plan it for Labor Day weekend. Come on and go to Ghana with us. Being a part of the conference and the gala is not going to be the only thing that you're going to be able to see and do. You want to go to that point of no return. There is just so much to see and do. So get ready. Get your money. Start putting it aside. Start getting ready to come and be with us as we travel to the beautiful country of Ghana. And I believe that is all the announcements that we have for today. So we're back talking about social media, its impact and its effect on our next generation. Nia-san, you have grandchildren. I now have a whole family. My son just got married 4 weeks ago. So I now have, thank you. I now have an additional 3 grandsons. I've already raised 3 sons. Now I have 3 grandsons. And one thing that I especially like about the boys is that they are musical like mine was. Mine were both musical. My 2 youngest. I was too young to really be tuned into my oldest son, but the 2 youngest ones I was tuned into. They were my first 2 are 10 months. My first 2 children are 10 years apart. My second two are 10 months apart. So, of
Wow.
course, with 10 years, there should be some maturity and some growth. So I was very tuned into what the Lord was trying to do in their lives, and they are both walking in those things. So with my three new grandsons, one is musical, one plays drums like my youngest son, the other one sings. And so I have, excuse,
Take care, take care, take care.
yeah.
Have a seat.
I have some experience in how to pour in to these three young men, but they don't do the social media. They're not stuck on PlayStations and tablets. For as long as I've known them, I've never seen them with a tablet. They've never come to church with a tablet. They're not asking for their mother's phone. You know, they want to know, can we go get on the drums? This is not your church. We have to ask permission. But can I go get on the drums? So this is a blessing in my life because I will nurture those musical gifts and those talents, but I have no tolerance for phones and tablets and things like that. Even my godsons in Atlanta, they don't have tablets. No, none of things. They don't have tablets, and I'm always sending my godson. His name is Seven. I'm always sending him books. I just sent him a little scientist book, and it talks about all different types of science for his age, even ahead of his age. And he always calls me to thank me and thank me for helping to make him smarter every day because our children don't even understand how to read a book, how to sit down and devour. It is just so terrifying. You know, they don't listen in school, they don't listen at home, so they're not listening at school. But I'm telling you, parents, I'm warning you, please grab a hold of what you think is old fashioned. I know this young sister always telling her grandmother, yeah, well, that's old fashioned. That was in your time. We like struggle is struggle. It may be a different era, but the struggle is struggle. Same things still exist, and you need to be doing some different things with your son besides, you know, just letting them sit in front of a tablet or on a telephone and think that he's going to be learning something because they're not. I heard Reverend Pam say something earlier when I was getting on about they talking to predators. And I was just looking at a reel, and a young person was on there saying, begging the parents to pay attention to the games that their children play, because there's one game that they're playing where these older people are getting in and talking to them like they're children. But what these older pedophiles are doing are grooming your children. They're befriending them. They're talking about things that they think they want to talk about. And next thing you know, your child is going to go missing. We've got some children missing right now in Philadelphia. I mean, children missing all the time in every city, in every state. But we've got two young ladies and two young men currently that are missing. Unfortunately, they're not getting the news play that this other young lady, she was running for Miss Teen Pennsylvania. And they just found her killer. He actually turned himself in 2 weeks ago, and it was somebody that she was engaged with on social media. I don't know how it all started, but he asked to meet her after work, so she left work and left her car at work. I guess I don't know if she went out to meet him, but because the job said that her car was there, her pocketbook and everything was still in the office, but she never returned from her break, and they found her body buried at an abandoned school. So we got to tell our kids you can't buy things in Facebook, you can't buy things, you cannot order things, you can't go meet anybody. No, those things are a no-no. Again, social media is so out of control, and no one has access to controlling the worldwide media. And that's a scary thing. I don't know about how you both feel, you three feel, but that's a scary thing that there is something out there that can get our children's attention that nobody is able to control other than you, the parents, other than you, the siblings, to be watchful about what your children are doing and what they're playing with and who they're engaging and talking with. We gotta go back to the old way sometime. We gotta just go back. And there's an old song in the church. They say, now let us all go back to the old time way. We need to go back to the old time way in raising our children and sending our children outside to play, to exercise their lungs, their bodies. Let them scream and holler and run up and down the street, bouncing a ball and not just sitting somewhere. You walk out through the street now and there are no children outside. There's hardly any children outside playing anymore. Now, I don't know what happened with Halloween because I never opened my door for Halloween. My doors are always shut The lights are out. Don't come to this house. But I didn't even hear children walking through the neighborhoods to know, for one, being outside is just so scary nowadays. And people are still, how parents let their children do trick or treating in this day and age is beyond me. They were showing on the news how the parents were examining their kids' candy. One parent was showing with these magnets, and she would laid all the candy out, and she used a magnet to run over all the candy, and all the candy that had nails and wires and razor blades in it were all picked up by the magnets. And she opened them up, and she was going through the labels and showing you where the little teeny pinholes were, where they stuck little pinholes in and pushed little blades and little nails and things in. And she was showing the parents how to examine your children's candy. I'm like, who still allows their children to go out trick-or-treating in this day and age, knocking on people's doors, asking them for things? Is My children have never trick-or-treated. I have never been trick-or-treating. And I know for a fact that my grandkids will not be going trick-or-treating. But those things are not like they used to be. You cannot let your children be going out door to door. And now you've got the adults who are dressing up. And this morning on the news, they were talking about these adults who were going out and threatening to kill the homeowners if they didn't open their doors. Man, I tell you. How was trick-or-treating?
That being said, Ambassador, what has the world come to? Why are people doing things like that, putting poisonous or damaging stuff in candy that they know kids are going to consume? Where are their consciences? Do people still have consciences these days?
I don't know if they have any conscience, morals, or values, because once you remove God as the center of your universe, you removed him from schools. You've removed him basically from everything that kept us in reign. Now we're just running amok, and you get these children hooked on candy laced with drugs. These drug dealers now are going to elementary schools. They used to just let me just mess with high schoolers. Now they're going to elementary schools, and they're disguising the drugs as candy to get these children addicted at such a young age. And it's terrible. I have very, very strict rules for my children. My mother had very strict rules for us, and I passed those rules on. And when I look at the world near sung today, like you just asked, why would you want to put poison and stuff in candy that children are going to eat? Now I understand. My mother was like, no, we couldn't go anywhere. We didn't spend a night no place. These things were just not done in our lives. And my children were only allowed to spend the night at their father's house, or we spent the night at my grandparents' house. But I never sent my children have never been to summer camp. They've never been to overnight camp. I've never been to overnight camp. In this day and age, you just cannot be letting your children go with any and everybody. It is because the world is not a nice place. But for the people of God, we don't have to worry too much. But there are still those out there that would desire to kill, steal, and destroy before our children can reach their purpose and their destiny.
Thank you for that. I think we turn to Dr. Crosslin. Is she still with us? I don't know.
Yes, I am here, and it's so wonderful to see Prophetess Lisa. And my comment is for Prophetess Lisa. She said pocketbook. And we're talking about Louis Vuitton pocketbook, I guess. Prophetess Lisa.
I didn't say anything about the pocketbook.
Yes, you did. You called it pocketbook. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that term since I was 3 years old. Give me my pocketbook. That was way before Louis Vuitton. So I think we should bring that term back because I love it. And I just love listening to you. Oh, and before that, you said you popped her on her legs a couple times. I was still laughing. I was like, Prophetess Lisa need to go to everybody's home like an angel and pop them legs.
You pop them legs. You pinch. That's right. You pinch up under that arm. There's a way to get the message without beating. And don't get me wrong, because I'm a whipper. I'm like, I look at sometimes I was like, I haven't beat a kid in a long time. Don't let you be the recipient, okay? But yes,
No,
discipline.
anybody, they'll let you in. Don't worry.
Yes,
You can
they will.
read the doorbell. They'll let you in.
Thank you, Dr. Gloria. But it is
Yes,
important.
ma'am.
It's important that we help each other, that we help these young parents who don't know any better. Now, these parents are they're only 10, 15, maybe 15 years older than their children. And they're so busy trying to be their friend that nobody is being a parent
And
anymore.
let's just say that today I was driving near George Washington University and I saw these parents with their daughter who attends the university there. And I was amazed. It's just like, you were saying, uh, drug addiction, it doesn't discriminate
It
because
does not.
of someone's income or educational level or economics. And all parents, even the very, very wealthy, they have to watch their children. And I
Hmm.
was like, they showed up for their daughter. They were walking her across the street, making sure she get to the other side okay. So I
Wonderful.
there yes, ma'am. So there's nothing wrong with us wanting the best for all children. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
You
Gloria.
very
We
much.
all
Don't
should
go
want the
away
best.
yet. Yes. Ambassador, go ahead.
I was saying we should all want the best for all our children, not just my children or just your children, but for all our
All
children.
children.
We want to see the best in all because it takes a village and it's going to take all of us to raise these kids like it used to be in the old time days. Come on, let's go back to the old time ways. Discipline your children. Tell them no. My children they say, Mom, the first thing out your mouth was always no. And then you would think about it and says, oh, yeah, but no was always the first thing that came out of my mouth because most of the time y'all want to do something that is, I'm going to say no. So I'm just going to get it out the way before you can even ask.
Okay.
And go back, start going back up to the school and see what they're doing in school. I know that my granddaughter's school, if they carry their phones to school, they take them away and they put them in pouches. And they have to be in these locked pouches all day. They can keep them in case of an emergency, but they have to carry them in a locked pouch. And my granddaughter's mother said that if she ever gets her phone taken from her, that will be the end of it. She's 15 now. She said, but if she ever gets her phone taken away from her because she has it out at an inappropriate time, she will never have a phone again until she's old enough to get one herself. And these are the kind of rules that need to be stipulated and put back in our children's lives. You don't go to school to be on social media. You're not going to school to be talking to your friends who are sitting right in the class with you. But we did pass. Now, see, in our day and age, we pass notes. This day and age, they just get on their phones and send messages back and forth. But we must get respect. We must get a handle on getting respect back into our children and letting them know. No, social media cannot be a thing that we do. I know some parents who take their social media the phones away from their kids. They have to unplug at dinner time. At dinner time, all the phones go into a basket somewhere. They don't come to the table and you have a conversation. You sit down and you're talking to your children. You're having conversation. Even if they don't want to talk, you talk to them.
Talking of which, parents have to help teachers as
Yes.
second parents so that at home you tell them what you want them not to do in school. Because if you don't tell them, they go to school, some children will grow wings and tell you, you're not my father, you're not my mother, so don't tell me that. So it's good that it starts from home, build that awareness from home. Let the children know that social media is not for educational purposes. I mean, for educational institutions. It's not when you go to school that you should be using your cell phone or whatever. Yes.
Very good. That's a very good thing. It's not, but and like you said, we need to make sure our children understand that your teacher is your second parent. You know, when my boys went to school, I went to school with my children every single first day of the school, even up to high school. And by the time they got there, they was like, Mom, can you just please sit on the other side of the auditorium? Please do not be sitting with us. I said, okay, but I'm coming to school and I'm going to meet your teachers. and I'm going to give them permission. If I have to give it in writing, they will have permission to discipline you and then call me. And if
That's
you don't want the teacher to call me, these are the things that have gone away from our children with the social media. Not only with our children, it's gone away from the parents as well because they're so engaged in social media, and it's easy to get caught up. I
Yeah.
look sometimes, I look for a reel or two, and I realize, dog, you just spend here 15 minutes scrolling through reels. Put this down. But I don't have any children that I'm raising. My children are all grown and out of the house. But some of these parents, their children are not grown and out of the house. You're barely grown because you're still doing these childish things. So we need to find some other things for our kids to be doing.
Yeah, before we take the round, I just wanted to add something. I know you guys made a statement here on that social media is not for school, but there are educational channels on social media. Like I said earlier, we are actually using YouTube and Zoom for our STEM program. So they just need to go to those social media outlets that are educational, rather than the other ones. I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, so I think we need to take it around. We're at 4:25.
yes. All right. That being said, I usually
Mhm.
start with Dr. Crosslin. Unmute, please, and share your last thoughts as we wrap up this second day of November.
Oh, that was my last thought, but I will add to it.
Yes.
Me being an adult, when I go to, like, say, doctor appointments and I'm waiting for the doctor, I do use social media, and they want me to get off of my phone while they're in there. Thank
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Wait, well, let me ask Dr. Cross. Are you saying that while the doctors are in the room with you, you're on social media while you're having your dental appointment or your physical exam?
Well, because it takes them so long to get in there, and I'm finishing up, but they want you to stop right then, not like finishing up a text or instant message or any of that.
So,
They said,
Dr.
I'm finally
Crossley,
here.
are you confessing that you are a difficult patient?
I'm not a difficult patient, but then I'll look up and I'll read the sign they have up there. No cellular phones.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Okay. Well, I can understand because there may be personal information around. They don't want you looking at other people's. Now, if that's the case, then they are the ones who are negligible and not paying attention. If you go into a physical exam and somebody else's information is available sitting around in the room where you could snatch up information, that's inappropriate. But I can see why they would say no social media, no phones out while you're in the exam room. You don't want to be examining or recording.
Well, a long time ago, before we had social media on our phone, they didn't really have a problem with it, but they really want all of our attention and to get in, get out, and yeah, so they just want us to be attentive. But I have to use my phone for a lot of different things, like to give them notes, show them pictures.
Right.
So I do, but so they're a little bit lax, but they just want the respect that they used to get, because sometimes the phone will ring when a person is in the middle of a doctor's appointment. I've had to tell the doctor, excuse me, like, this is really important. This is like the president calling me. So they understand. But
Right.
yeah, things are different now, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Prophetess, I know you came in late, but you have a lot on your mind. Share what you have to share and wrap it up in your last words.
Thank you so much, Nia Sang. This is a very important topic, social media and its effects on our generations, and not only here in the diaspora, but on the continent. I don't think it's so much of an issue on the continent because, they're still having to buy data. And when parents have to buy data, they're not so easily to buy data where you can just end up doing nothing with it. But we need to be mindful, parents. I'm issuing this warning that your child will be good for nothing if you don't begin to put some time in with them. Take them off of social media, take the tablets away, take the phones away, and sit down and do something with the child. Sit down and engage the child in something other than just their thumbs going on their phone. You will find out that it will be so much better in the long run. And it does not take a very long time to stop and break some of these disciplines or some of these habits that they have already achieved. If they establish it before, you can begin to establish something different. So spend time with your children. Get off of social media, get them off of social media, and begin to engage in healthy dialogue. Thank you so much. That is my last word for the day.
Thank you very much, and stay on, please. And we turn to the chair of Africa Online Media Corporation, Her Highness.
Yes, thank you. Before I just do my last word, Ambassador Lisa, data is expensive, but you'll be surprised how many young people on the continent, even older people, use data. Sometimes they would forego some important bills just to get data to be on social media. A lot of them don't even want to go to the farm anymore. You know, so it's a shame. It's an addiction.
Wow.
It is very addictive.
It
There
is,
are people
yes,
that wake up at night to check their WhatsApp, to send messages. Put your WhatsApp on mute so it doesn't wake you up at night. But my last word on this is, let everybody take a pledge. Those listening and those who are now and in the future, take a pledge that you will use social media to build, not to destroy, to lift up, not to tear down, to be a blessing and not a curse, to bring comfort and not discomfort. Use it for good and not for evil. So you have to choose today whether you're going to use it for good or bad. And I urge you to choose it for good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Crosslin. Thank you, Prophetess Lisa, and every one of us here. It's been a pleasure again having us together today. Let us make it a date on the 9th to talk about WATER, water, so that we see how useful it is. So water, whatever it is. Thank you all very much. Please enjoy the week and stay warm.